What's up? What's up? What's up? I hope all of you are doing well. I know all of you are doing well now that you have graced this channel. Before I get started, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to click that little notification bell. And please make sure you have your notifications set so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. So, yes, you guys, I wanted to talk to you today from the taboo subject of both politics and religion. Oh, and why politics and religion are so taboo, and why we have been conditioned to not discuss them at all. And yet, these are the very things that we live and die on, on an everyday basis. Politics governs the way we conduct ourselves, and in society, and religion is how we govern our spiritual selves. So I often wonder why we never can have, or it is considered taboo to have these discussions about our religious and political affiliations, or none thereof. And a lot of it comes from ignorance. And I don't mean ignorance in being stupid, but I mean ignorance in its original term, which means, you just don't know. And a lot of times when you have a sense of unknowing, fear kind of drives that a little bit further. And then once fear sets in, you tend to hate what you fear. So a lot of it comes from just political and religious ignorance. We don't know the origins. We don't really know or understand political affiliations, or what particular even how religion or politics was even founded. A lot of us don't know any of that information. And not to say that I'm politically savvy, because I'm not. I try to look into as much as I can related to politics, and also religion. But I am neither political or religious, but I do understand and respect all that do have political affiliations and religious affiliations, because I, for one, am I love information. And so for me, I don't disregard a person's political affiliation. I don't disregard their religious beliefs just because I do not have them. I look at everyone as individuals who can, if they come into my sphere, they're coming into my sphere for a reason. And whether I learn to be like them, or learn to not be like them, I feel it's a lesson to be learned. So I wanted to give you guys an interesting, to kind of piggyback off of my original statement when I talked about people who are ignorant of politics. I wanted to give you, or tell you about a story about when I was in college last year. As many of you know or don't know, I attended an HBCU, and I was in the HBCU for business. But yes, I was attending an HBCU, and we had a paper, and our paper basically was it was about. The question was asked, who was the best president within the past 20 years? Now keep in mind, I'm at an HBCU, okay? A historically black college and university, for those of you who don't understand the acronym. And so all of the kids that were in this class, like keep in mind, I'm old, okay? I'm old. So a lot of the students that were in, that were in my English class were like half my age. So, of course, who the majority would favor as their favorite president. But this paper was an essay that is based on, factual evidence. That's pretty much what essays are. This particular essay was supposed to be, based in fact. And I found it very interesting that the women who were my age, and I didn't go with the obvious choice for a number of reasons. Not that I was trying to be a rebel or anything like that, but for different reasons, I chose a different president. But I noticed that everybody who picked their beloved president, did not have a lot of bullet points in terms of what did he really do politically. They didn't have any. I heard women of my age, I heard them say, oh, he had swag and he was hated by everyone and he was for the people, but didn't give any bullet points or did not back or support those claims with fact. I mean, having swag and having charisma has nothing to do with a person's political with their political I'm having a brain fog here, with their political administration or the things that they did while they were in office. So it led me to believe that if everybody thinks this way, keep in mind I'm at an HBCU, I'm at an institution of higher learning, how easy is it for a person to be swayed through emotion? How easy is it for a person to get a political vote based on tapping into your emotional capital? Not what you've done politically, but how they can arouse you. And I do understand that, melanated people, indigenous people, or whatever you choose to call yourself, we have the highest right brain activity of any other race of humans. And it comes from, our right brain deals with, creativity, emotion, and things of that nature. And so when studying this, all one has to do is to tap into your emotional capital to sway your vote, because there is no logic, analytical reason, or fact, something that you can balance your emotion with. Excuse me, you guys, I just saw a small little hummingbird. I always see that beautiful hummingbird. But anyways, yeah, so we're so easily to be swayed by charisma that we tend to overlook policy and agendas within the presidents that we choose. And I was told by my teacher that these are her words, okay, that the majority of black people, for the majority, vote Democratic because we want to vote for the lesser of two evils. We want to vote for the lesser of two evils. And I question, is this what our ancestors fought for? Dying to vote just so that we can cast our ballots for the lesser of two evils. Is that sound reason? And my teacher was my elder, and I love her dearly, but this is very important because election season is coming up, and I want you to understand policy before you get off into the person behind the policy, and look at what is in your political best interest, as opposed to being told what you need to do. It's like when you're my skin complexion, automatically, the assumption is you are with this particular party. And automatically you're anti everything else. And to me, that is not that doesn't give us the freedom to think for ourselves and to choose the better candidate. And I also want to say that I think that it is extremely important that if our ancestors were given the right to vote and we exercise that right to vote, just because a person goes with the non-obvious choice, or they go to instead of the left, they go to the right, or vice versa, they should not be demonized for that. This is part of the problem. This is part of the we should never talk about politics problem. Because everybody has their reasoning as to why they do what they do. And because someone doesn't go with the obvious choice, does that make them a coon? It doesn't make them a racist. It doesn't make them ignorant. But basing your president on swag is very ignorant, without knowing the political agendas that is going to affect the next 4 or 8 years of your life while this particular president is in office. That's just my spill. And like I said, I'm not speaking on, the left or the right, any political landscape. I'm not speaking on those. I'm speaking in a general term to where we can start having these dialogues, and you may learn something. You may learn something just by having a dialogue with someone of the opposite political party, or someone who doesn't have any political affiliation at all. You could learn something. Keep an open mind. Religion. Why is it that is such a taboo subject? Because once again, when you don't understand someone else's religious background, religious culture, and you have the media portray their culture as something else, you tend to hate what you don't even understand out of fear. And you don't even know, a lot of times, we don't even know the origin of our own religion, let alone the origin of someone else's. I have studied Islam. I have studied Buddhism, Hinduism. I grew up Christian, like most people in the South, And I learned from all of them. But I am none of them. And I respect them all. And I have my reasons as to why I'm not a part of them, but I respect them. And I think that seeing intellects like Malcolm and Martin, go through their religious ideologies, and they were able to hear each other out in conversations, and their ideals were very, very different, but they both were polarizing human beings. I found that to be very very, very adult like, to see someone else's point of view and not necessarily agree, but respect their point of view. There are things that I've learned in Islam that I carry with me to this day. But there are definitely things that I disagree with. There are things in Christianity that I carry with me to this day. And there are things that I just do not agree with. And Buddhism as well. But I can talk to a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddhist, an atheist, and understand why they believe what they believe or why they don't. And be able to respect and honor myself and not be so emotionally caught up because I don't believe that way, and not look at what has been truth from their perspective. I can look at it and respect it. But I can respect it and also reject what I do not agree with in a respectful way. But when you are so emotionally caught up to where you can't even think or you can't even hear, religion and politics become taboo. Because you don't want to hear a person out. And when a person doesn't have your same line of reasoning or your same line of thought, you automatically shut them off. And how does progress, move forward with that type of thinking? In the 42 laws of Ma'at, one of the principles was listening to opposing views. Why is that important? Because everything in life has its pair of opposites. Everything. So when you are able to listen to an opposing point of view, you are able to see the opposite of who you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is what governs the universe. So I wanted to talk to you guys today about not being so uptight about your religious or political affiliations and being able to create healthy dialogues with people who oppose or who you know that is not or does not have your same line of thought, because you can learn something. And I do believe that truly intelligent people will always listen to what is not necessarily with their line of thought, so that they could even know that they're on the right path. Sometimes when you listen to a line of reasoning that is totally against your line of reasoning, sometimes you're thankful to say, you know what? Oh, I had a conversation today. I'm so happy that I think the way I think. And sometimes you can have a conversation with a person and be like, wow, I never knew that about this particular religion, or I never knew this about this particular political party. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. Well, I am going to go ahead and end this video. I hope this video was informative and beneficial to all of you. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yes, I will see you guys on the next video. I am going to leave you for now, but I will be holding on to your love till the next video. Bye.